Anikka, I would respond to what something you said. You said that for men, providing and protecting is something that we've been taught throughout history, throughout society. Is that what you said? So that's one of the things I do hear from a lot of women. Like, why can't men just stay at home, and take care of the kids and be okay with that? And this, you've been taught that boys to be boys, and this is one of the things I always tell them. It's like providing and protecting is not something we're taught. It's a biological thing. It's innate within us as men to feel like we provide and protect. And there are studies out there. I mean, the perfect example I would use, like, you want to take it back all the way to the caveman days, right? The caveman days before social construct, before society, when we just acted on our primitive nature, right? What did the men do back in the caveman days?
So that actually, like, that was going to be my argument.
What
That's
did the
fun.
men? Yeah, but what did the men do? Like, what did the men do?
They hunted, but
Hunted, right? It's like there was nobody taught us to hunt. There was no social construct. There was no society. There was no hierarchy. It's just as men, there's a reason. There's something called biological differences or like sexual dimorphism. Is that there's a reason why we're different. There's a reason why men are bigger, stronger, faster. We are built to provide and protect. Even before society and social constructs, we provide and protected. There's a reason why women are more caring and loving because biologically, you guys have the children. So you guys are built to raise kids and have kids. So you are hardwired and created in a way to be nurturing and caring. So that way, when you guys have kids, you be able to nurture and care and raise the kids. So we have different biological differences of what we are, and that still also translates to our when it comes to relationships. Men, uh, the reason why men don't want to raise the kids because we're not built for it. We're not nurturing, caring as women. We prefer to go into the world and conquer the world because there's a reason why. Perfect example, Leena stem field. There's studies out there that men we like things and women like people. So that's why stem cells are dominated by men, and that's why jobs like caring, nursing, and any type of field that's social, that involves people, involves kids. That's why women dominate those industries. It's not because it's the society's telling you to do that. No, it's just because we're different biologically. And the same thing when it comes to relationships. As men, our love language is provide and protect. We want to be the provider protector for our woman, and for women, you guys love. You guys are. That's why we look for women to be nurturing and caring, because we know as a man, we want to be the provider protector, and we want to be a partner. We want to have a partner that they can take care of the kids, and and that's why the one thing I would say for a lot of women out there. That's why you can't tell a man like, hey, stay home, especially if it's a very masculine man, very masculine. His masculinity, he's ambitious, he's confident, big and strong. He's not. He would go nuts being at home. He's big, he's strong, he's confident, he's ambitious. You tell him to stay home, you're gonna drive him nuts. But that's why you see a lot of women, they prefer to be housewives, and that's why you see a lot of women who are very successful in their careers, who are very ambitious. But as soon as they get pregnant and they have kids, and you ask them once they have kids, you ask them, do you want to go back to work? A lot of women that were very ambitious at the beginning, once they have kids, their primitive nature kicks in, their biology kicks in, overrides their mental, their masculine thinking of being successful because now they're just being a woman. When they have kids finally, they're like, no, I don't want to go back to the work no more. I'd rather just be home with the kids because it's in your nature, it's biology. So that's my it's not a social construct we're not taught to be provided protected. It's innate within us. That's my
right.
response to that.
I agree with part of that, but
Which part you don't agree?
so I think it's a social construct because and you can tell it is because cavemen were everywhere, right? Like no one had technology at one point, and we were all like hunting and gathering. So women were gathering, and women had to have intuition, which is why they're really good caretakers because they had to have intuition to basically get either poisonous or non-poisonous berries.
Yeah, yeah,
But you can tell it's socially constructed based off of cultures because some cultures like praise women. They are the god. Like women literally are the god because they're like, oh my god, the intuition, the caretaking, you are the provider. Women are the providers because they literally take care of everyone. Like
yeah. But if you talk about deity, a deity is different from a relationship between man and woman. So we can I mean we can praise worship a woman. But when it comes to what we're attracted to, what we want to wife up, it's still going to go back to our biological differences.
Right.
So of course, it's this female male gods. Yeah, every culture has a female male god. But if we're talking about the dynamics of intersexual relationship between men and women, it's been the same. Masculine men want a feminine woman, nurturing care, and nurturing caring woman wants a masculine man. And the reason why for women, the reason why you guys want to provide a protector, because back in the caveman days, it was women knew that in order to survive, you had to align yourself with the strong alpha guy that can 100%. You don't want to align with yourself with the weak man, because if you can't 100% protect and provide you, you're gonna die. So it's your survival instinct. That's why women today, even throughout thousands of years of evolution, it's still hardwired into today that women today are still looking for superior men, even though you guys have the same opportunities as men now, even though you guys could get your own money, you can get your own bag, you don't need a man no more. Even though you don't need a man no more, you still want a man that could take care of you. Because it's biology. It's still innate that being a woman is, you're still a woman at the end of the day. You can go out to be successful, but you're still a woman at the end of the day. Go ahead.
I just want to add one thing to that. And so this is like on the topic of social construct versus biological. So yeah, I agree. Obviously, I mean, women can have kids, men can't. Women's body rated for kids. I mean, we produce milk, men don't. So, but the social construct of it comes with the terms of success, right? A woman's success nowadays is literally the same success as a man, which is how much money she's making, what job she has. A woman's success, no one looks at her and says, oh, she has 8 kids, she's successful. You know, like actually people now look at women and be like, oh, she has 8 kids. Like, I feel bad for her. So that's the problem. When, women are destined to do that and men are destined to do that, but men's job is praised and it's sought after, and people are like, wow, like you're doing this, good for you. But women is like, oh, you have to do that. Like, why would you not do that? You know, so I think that's the issue here. And that's why women want the career and they don't want to have kids anymore. And I don't need no man, because that's what's praised. Everyone has like that inner child that just wants to be rewarded. That behavior is rewarded, and staying at home and being a stay-at-home wife is like looked down upon. You know, when a woman actually is successful and she has that first child and she leaves her job, a lot of people look down on it. They're like, oh my God, she could have been something great. But it's like that child is also something great. So I think that's the big issue, is that women are trying so hard to focus on their career because they're not seeing the reward of being just a caretaker, which again leads to everything that we talked to in the back. Masculine energy, looking for someone more successful, blah, blah. Like, I think that's the root cause, is that males get rewarded more for behaviors that they're biologically destined to do.
Yeah. Well, Anikka, anything to add to what Leena said?
No, that was spot on. I like that.
Yeah. No, it's just I think the thing I would say is just, I think today, because society is just, because we're just so gender neutral, it's non-binary no more. But at the end of the day, like there's just biological difference between us. You can't compare a man to a woman. You know, it's apples and oranges, and that's the problem of society today. Like, you know, a man is built for success. You know, there's a reason why men are better at success, because we're bigger, stronger. Also, we don't have the liability of having kids, so we can work longer. You know, we don't, as a woman, it's really hard to be successful in the workplace, because if you have kids, you have 9, then it's gonna slow you down, right? So, so that's something that a lot of women have to think about, especially when they go in the workplace. But for men, like, you know, it's throughout the years of, I mean, since the beginning of time, we've always been the ones that provide a protector. We've always been the one to build things, to build the infrastructure of the world, to, you know, to create the things that we need. So it's always been like that. So of course, men are going to be, you know, if they're successful, be glorified. And of course, women, there's no problem with being a successful woman. It's just, for a lot of women today, it's like the biggest thing for a lot of for women is having kids. If you end up being successful and you don't have a family and you don't have kids, you're going to be looked down upon, because as women, you're expected to have kids, because that's part of your biology. That's why you were created. So that's why that's why a man, I mean, a man can be successful and don't have kids and don't have a family. Because, like I said, men are not, we don't get pregnant. We're not the ones who have to raise kids. So that's why a man can be successful and doesn't have a cat, doesn't have a family, doesn't have a kid. used to be glorified. But if you're a woman that is successful, you don't have a kid, you don't have a family, you're gonna be looked down upon in society. But oh, she's successful, but unfortunately, she's not married. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a kid. It's just there's just differences between us, right? What do you guys think about that?
I don't know. It's just interesting because, like, I feel like I've just missed something because it like doesn't make sense to me. Like, I maybe it was the way I was raised, but it just like doesn't make sense that
It's just I'll give you I'll give you a perfect example. If a guy, like I said, men are built for success. They're supposed to go out and be ambitious and build something with this life and build value and take care of his woman. That's normal for women, for men. So that's why men are always glorified in their success. That's what he's supposed to do. That's what we're built for. And for women, you're supposed to, like I said, the biological for woman is to be nurturing, caring, and raise the kid and be at home. I'll give you a perfect example. If a guy chose to be a housewife, right, and he was the best and told to be a housewife, stay at home, you already know that guy's gonna be what? Out of all the men in the world, they're gonna look down at that guy and say what? If he wants to be a housewife, what are all the men gonna say about him? Think of
He's a simp.
he's weak. He's feminine.
I don't get that. Like,
right? No, because it's biology. It's biology, right? You're going against your very nature of what we were designed. But like I said, I have no issue with men who choose to be stay home. You want to be a stay home mom and raise the kids and if you want to. Hey, I have nothing problem with that. But the thing is, you're going against biology, so that's why people are gonna look at you a certain way. Same thing with women. I have no problem with you being successful, but the thing is, you have to understand that for most of you women, you're built to have the kids, and the man's supposed to be the provider, protector. Go do your thing, but just understand you're going against every nature. So of course you're gonna expect people to react that way. Go ahead.
That was my point. That the kids and the raising kids is not seen as success, right? And you're right. So a man can't biologically have kids, so he has to stick with success. A woman can biologically have success. You know what I mean?
You can, yeah.
I think sometimes the expectations of women are higher because she's supposed, naturally, biologically, she's supposed to have the kids, and to be seen as a person in society, she needs to have some sort of success, right? So it's like a two-sided coin. She needs to have a little bit on both sides. Now, males just say, oh, I can't have kids, right? So it's like they kind of get a free pass. If they're just successful, then that's good enough. They're already seen as a person.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But the thing is that if they don't have that success and they only have, okay, I'm raising the kids, then you said they're seen as weak, which is my point that career success and financial success is the only success that's rewarded in our society.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, long story short, society just fucked up. Like that's what it is.
No, I don't. Okay, go ahead, Leena. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just the social construct. I think if a man wants to be a housewife, if he has that feminine energy, the same way that there's some females that have the masculine energy, they want the job, then it's perfectly fine for there to be a male with feminine energy that wants to stay home and take care of the kids, And if there wasn't that type of guy, then that's the reason why the females up top are single, Those two people need to match. Those are the people that are meant for each other.